Live. New sign of Christ. Can you see them?
No.
All right. Imagine, which means to stand. First hand up. Boss off. State your registry.
Mawasa, Bani Howda, Bani Yashar.
Mawasa, Bani Howda, Bani Yashar.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Brakta.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Brakta.
La Yashar.
Which means to Israel. Time we're going to say the Lord's Prayer. We're going to say the prayers. Apollo Padam, which means face the east.
In the Lord Prayer in Hebrew, Abanau, Sabbat
Qadash,
I.S.U.P.K, Yahweh, I.S.U.P.K, Baratata, Kaya, Bashamai, Nathaniel, Lakam, Kal, Nawam, Wasalakina, Kawapina, Kasalakina, Kawapina, Wala'a, Taba'ayana, Maasai one, Abal, Hayashai now, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Halamalakwa, Hawata Paroth,
I'm on. This is the Lord's Prayer in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day, our daily bread. And give us our debts, as we forget our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it.
Hear the power in Hebrew. Yahweh Hashem Yahshua.
Yahweh Hashem Yahshua.
Bakashah. Nathaniel. Hakak. La Parah. Kalmakala. Wakal Marawa. Hakak. La Tahar. Ha Matazarayam. Hakak. Hakwal Wayam. Hamatayam. Hakak, El-Rakaroth, Hamatala, Lagarashan, Bashim Yahshua, the water one.
This is the power in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. All manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you. So be it.
So Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha, Ayanga,
Ayanga,
Aharayam,
Aharayam,
Mayatan,
Mayatan,
Waba'ab, Azari, Ma'ayin, Yahweh, I.S.U.P.K, Shemaiah, Wa'arataza, Alatan, Lamawat, Regalica, Al-Nanawan, Shemarika, Hanala'a, Nanawan, Wala'a, Yadishan, Shawamar, Yasha'al, Yahweh, Shemarika, Yahweh, Kazalika, Ayah, Yamyonka, Yanawan, Yashamash, La'ayakanka, Yawrak, Aliyah, Yahweh, Yashamarika, Makara, Yashamar, Afnapash, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza Uncle, Wa'ayatah.
This is Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. From which cometh my help. My help coming from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore.
Your Psalms 8:3 in Hebrew. Alahayim. Al Damiyah Lakah. Al Dakarash. Al Dashakwat. Al Kahayana. Waba'abka. Yahamai Yawan. Ra'ash. Al Amya. Ra'ay Yamwa. Sawadah. Wa'atazawa. Al Tazbawanya. Amawah. Lakakwa. Walakakia. Agawa. Wala'ayasakar. Shomya Sha'al. Awada. Kaya Atazawa. Laba. Lakatwa. Al-Yabka. Baroth. Wa-Karathwa. Alahaya. Adawam. Wa-Yashamai. Alayam Maba'abwa. Wa-Gariam. Gabal. Wa-Amawan. Wa-Malak. Palashah. I'm Yashapu. Tazawa. Gum Yashua. Nanawa. Ma'ayin. Ayawa. Darwa. Labanyawa. Selah. Ashalaham. Ayapyan. Kasayasara. Kayapyan. Banakal. Awashwan. Nashadampwa. Ba'ayan da'ira. Hayawa. Daman. La'adama. Shaya damwa. Nada. Yabawa. Kawa. Wa kazaaba. Wa kazabak. Wa kazatazal. Na'a. Cow. Nasa. Wa kamwa. Ashar. Amaru. Na ya rasha. Nanawa. Na awaf. Alahayam. Shawatanwa. Kagawa. Kakwash. Lapanya. Karash. Da'ara Ya'ara. Wa Kala Abba. Dalahat. Alahari. Khan. Dawatampa. Bawashara. Wabasa. Wapa'anka. Dabahalam. Mala'a. Palahayam. Kualawan. Wayab. Shah.
Yahweh
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashapwa.
Yahshapwa.
Waya by Aliwa. Ayai.
Ayai.
Wa I Karapara.
Karapa.
Wa I Abadwa.
Abadwa.
Ya I Dawa.
Dawa.
Kaya Ata.
Kaya Ata.
Shamka.
Shamka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Labarika.
Abayika.
Al Yawan.
Ayawan.
Al Kaha.
Al-Kaha.
Arafza.
Al-Harazah. All right. This is Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
lo,
thy enemies make a tumult.
thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
And they that hate thee
have lifted up their head.
have lifted up their head.
They have taken crafty counsel
They have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted
And consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Israel
The name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
they can no longer remember.
For they have consulted together.
They have consulted
With
together.
one consent.
One consent.
They are confederate against thee.
They have confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom,
The tabernacles of Edom.
and of the Israelites,
And the Israelites.
of Moab,
Of Moab.
and Hagarenes,
Hagarenes.
Gabal,
Gabal.
and Ammon,
Ammon.
and Amalek,
Amalek.
the Philistines,
Philistines.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
The inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur
Ashur.
also was joined with them.
Also has joined with them.
They have hope in the children of
I have
Lot.
hope the children of Lot.
Selah,
Selah.
do unto them
Do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites.
as to Sisera,
As to Sisera.
as to Jabin,
As to Jabin.
at the brook of
At the
Kishon,
brook Kishon.
which perished at Endor.
Which perished at Endor.
They have become dung for the earth.
They have come down for the earth.
Make their nobles like a red,
Like the nobles like a red.
and like Zaid.
Like the Eve.
Yea,
Yea.
all the princes
All the princes
of Zabah
of Sabbat
and Zabuna,
and Shmuel
who said,
said,
let us take to
let's
ourselves
take for ourselves
the houses of
the
Yahweh
house of
in
Yahweh
possession.
in possession.
Oh, my power,
Oh, my power.
make them like a wheel,
Make them like a wheel.
as they stumble before the wind.
As stumble before the wind.
As a flame,
As flame.
as a fire,
As fire.
burns the wood,
Burns the wood.
as a flame set the mountains on
As
fire.
flames set the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
Persecute
with
them
thy tempests,
with thy tempests.
and make them afraid
Make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill thy face with
that they
shame.
may seek thy name.
So they seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh.
let them be confounded
Let them be confounded.
and troubled
And troubled
forever.
forever.
Yea,
Yea.
let them be put to shame
Let them be put to shame.
and perish,
Perish.
that men may know
That they may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
Yahweh,
are the most high
are the most high
of all the earth.
over all the earth.
Sign Christ. Sarge needs to turn. Shabi needs to be seated.
Someone.
Okay. Sign Christ. Go ahead and let the brother in. I'll let him in.
Got it.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
All right.
So you see?
All right, we left off with what? Deuteronomy 1 and 10. We left off that last week. We was talking about when Moses, you know what I'm saying, his soldiers, we came out the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He had pretty basic much.
But before I do that, I want to, it's like good. I just want to give a shout out to the brothers, man. Hey, this is another Sabbath service. Welcome to the Sabbath service in Atlanta camp. Sabbath service. We here. I want to give a shout out to the brothers, man. I was gone for about 2 weeks. The brothers held it down for me. Let's get clap it up for them. And Officer Yahanna, Officer 500 Yahanna came through with his fur on, looking glorious, with the beard going down, man. The brother, he held it on, so the water for that brother. I also want to give a shout out to Officer 50 in the I.S.U.P.K. Clap it up for that brother. He held it down looking strong. And of course, the mighty man in the middle, true Mawasar, always holding it down. So I want to say the water to them brothers, man. It was held it down, get the class moving. And that's just what we do. So I want to give a shout out to them brothers. Again, I'm Officer Cars, 500, I'm Officer 500 of Cars. To my far right, Officer 50, the I.S.U.P.K. This brother in the middle, true Mawasar. Clap it up. All right. So, like I said, welcome to another Sabbath service. We need to be at the Sabbath service. Yeah, so we're here. So we about to get it on. Let's get it on and going. The Lord told us to be here. This is the service, Sabbath service, and to keep it holy. So we are here, the Sabbath service. Got another brother came in. So what's your name again, brother?
JB.
Brother JB, clap it up for him. Brother, tell a little bit about how you heard about I.S.U.P.K.
Just check y'all out on YouTube.
Oh, sorry, Christ. What made you come in today? You just woke up and said, I'm just gonna pop up. What made you come to this camp today?
I mean, you know, number one is the closest to my house, so
Right.
you know, and I feel like that. Well, I don't feel like it. Deuteronomy, not in book of Hebrews, it said not to forsake the assembly yourselves together.
Right. Exactly.
And you know, since I'm not a Christian anymore, you know, go to Shabbat.
Hey, let's clap that up. He's not a Christian no more. Most High in Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, Most High in Christ. With water for being here, brother. We start Sabbath service every Sabbath from 11 o'clock to about maybe an hour. Sometimes we go over 15 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever have you. All right. So with that being said,
It's facing that way. Was I just on camera? Am I on
oh
camera?
no.
Oh,
We hear your voice though.
Oh.
You okay with that?
No, I'm good.
All right,
I was just making sure.
All right, no sweat. No, everything's facing up this way. All right, go ahead, brother. I didn't mean to cut you off on that. Go ahead and tell me where we left off at, brother. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, Deuteronomy 1:10 basically was saying, like, you know what I'm saying, Moses had, you know, he came out of the wilderness, you know what I'm saying, after Exodus, he came out from Egypt to the wilderness, and that he was trying to get armies together, and, you know, we just getting armies together. You know, they talking about, ain't no such thing, no rank and nothing like that in the Bible, but, you know, we're going to explain to you now.
Okay.
Everybody's going to take different lands. We're going to have, like, different, like, captains over, no.
Don't give him too much. Don't give him too much.
Oh, okay.
We're going to go into the scripture.
Okay, I'm going straight to the scripture.
All right.
About
Now,
that.
before I do that, I just want to really, I got a personal story I want to talk about right now before we get into it. Matter of fact, we're going to just tell them the scriptures that we at. We're starting at.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 10.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 10. Now, I always tell people that this is your history. This is your culture right here. This Sabbath service where we come in, we read the Hebrew, we have the script, the scroll here that we have. You got the menorahs, the incense going. This is our culture. This is our culture as Israelites. We got our headpieces on, our wraps, our garment, full-fledged garment. This is what the priests and prophets did back then. You understand? This is what we know for. But people in the world don't know our culture. You understand? But this weekend, I had a chance to prove and show people what we all about. You understand? For most people who know me, I had to go down to a prison system. I had to go down to the prison down in Florida. But most of them know me, they know my personal story on it. So, but if you wasn't, you had to rewind the tape back to a couple shows and you find out. But a near and dear person to me that I normally go see, I haven't seen for a long time. I had to go down and see her. You understand? When I went in there, it was a Sabbath service. Normally I teach a Sabbath service. So I had to go in my full garment. I decided to go in my full garment, let them know who we are, who we stand for. You understand? So I went in there, headpiece, full garment, went in front, and I was attempting to get in. Now, I always tell people, man, rep your garments, rep your headpieces, rep your culture. This is our culture, man. You see the Muslims repping their culture. You see all the other Edomites, they rep their culture. So it's time for us to rep our culture. Knowing the fact that if I wasn't going to be able to get in, I'll have to understand the fact that if they don't let me in, I may not have to see my loved one that I want to see behind those prison walls. But I was ready to take that up to a fight because I wanted to show them that this is the Lord. We are Israelites, and this is our culture. So I went in with the headpiece, full garment, went to the front. They looked me up and down like, who is this Negro? Who is this Negro? And I was standing there. I got my little grandkids with me. I got everybody here. We ready to go in. No, they tell me no, I'm going to have to face the fact that I'm going to have to go back in my car and go back home without seeing the person I want to be there for. They looked at me up and down. They said, what's going on? I said, I'm an Israelite. I want to come in and see blase blase. I'm on the list. They said, okay. Looked at me again up and down, went back, came back to the microphone and said, you're good with everything you got on, except the headpiece, the thing on your head, you got to take it off. In my mind, I'm thinking, well, if I take the headpiece off, you have a better chance on telling me to keep the headpiece on and take off the garment. But I wasn't taking off nothing, period. So I told them, no, this is religious purposes. This is religious purposes, and I want to keep everything on, pretty much. So they said, okay. We told brother. Said, okay. They said, hold on, sir. Went back in. Next thing I know, I got 3 COs, corrections officers, looking into the window like, hey, what is this nigga? So they leave, they come back. Well, give me 1 second, sir. We just checking on some things. He said, what's your organization again? I said, I'm Israelite. Okay, cool. They left, came back again, peeked through the hole. Sir, I need to take a picture. No sweat. Took a picture. Now, I took the headpiece off, and I'm like, you know what? Let me keep the headpiece on. That way, I don't have no problems later on. So I took the picture with the headpiece on. They said, okay, give me another minute. Went back, came back and said, you know what? So at this time, I'm in my mind, I'm praying. I'm praying to the Lord. I'm saying, Christ, Lord, it's your will. No, I'm still praying, Lord. If it's gonna be done, it's gonna be done. If not, I'm gonna ask Captain Desire to have 6 brothers down there next week, and we gonna hold camp out that spot. The Lord behold, they came in, they opened the door, and they say, you know what, you're good to go. Come on through. Let's get a hold of the Lord to fight. That's how you rep the culture. So don't shed your culture for nobody.
Don't compromise.
Don't compromise for nobody. You understand? You go in there full-fledged with what you have on. This is your God-given right to have. You are priests and prophets on this earth. The Lord ordained us to be that. So you rep your culture wherever you go. Let that be. I've always said it, and I always wore my stuff, but this is the first time I had to prove it. I had to make sure, and I had to be ready for the consequences that was behind it. And I promise you, if they would have told me I couldn't come in there, I'm telling you, I would have got with Cap and said, Lord, we need to go down there to Florida, and we need to set up camp right in front of them until they let us in. But I feel like they ain't want no smoke. They knew who we were. I don't think they want no smoke from Israelite brothers. They ain't want no smoke with I.S.U.P.K and under Commander Yahanna. You understand? They ain't want none of that smoke. They let me in, did my thing, came out. Now when I was in there, brother, I'm telling you, everybody was like, who is this Negro? I had people come asking me questions, who I was, can I get a flyer? Brothers like, I seen you on TV. Man, I got about 5 brothers' information that I sent this stuff to. That's the power of the Lord. When you start not being ashamed, that's right, when you're not ashamed to rep your culture and do what the Lord tells you to do, He provides them things for you. Now, none of our brothers who go down to the institution will have a problem getting in this thing. That's the first time they've seen that. So even the CEOs were talking to me. We never had nobody come down there. We heard of y'all, but we never seen y'all in action. So this man told me how to come in, who to call to make sure I can come in and teach classes. So all that stuff is going to be brought up. So we'll be visiting these things a lot more. That's the power of the Lord, man. That's just the power and the strength that you have within you to walk around this place like you own this place, because you do. You Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you own this place. You just have to be confident enough and do exactly what the Lord tells you to do and walk in this place without fear. And just claim who you are. So I just wanted to bring that out. So the water to the Most High for that. You know what I'm saying? All right. So with that being said, we're gonna go ahead with the service. Like the brother said, we got Deuteronomy 1 verses 10. We're gonna read the first 7 verses in the Hebrew, and then we'll come back and read it in the English. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and get it going.
Okay. Deuteronomy 1 and 10. Yahweh, Elohim, Hallelujah. Slack it.
You said right. He said, yeah, Yahweh. Yeah, he said right.
Yahweh, slack it. Harabah, Athakam, Yahanna kam.
It's one.
Honey, slack it. Hakam, Wahanakam.
Yep.
Hayaram, Kabya.
Yeah, it's Kakawakabya.
Kakawakabya.
Yeah.
Hashamayim, Laraf. Verse 11. Yahweh, Elohim, Abarathakam, Yasap, Ayakam, Kakam, Allah, Pa'ayam. Wayaba, rock. Athakam, Bashar, Kashar, Dabar, Lakam.
All right, let's wrap it up for him. You're going to be next week. Any questions you can slow on down? We got time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
Okay.
Okay, wait, left out verse
Verse 12.
Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 12 in Hebrew. I.S.U.P.K, Asha, Labaya, Sarad Kai Kam, Wa Ma Shayakam, Wa Ra Ya Bakam, verse 13. Habawa Lakam Ha Na Shayam Ka Kamayam Ya Na Banayam Waya Wayak Ayam Lasha Sayakam Wa I Shayamam Bara Yakam, verse 14. Wa Dai I Nawa Aswa Wa Dai I Mawa Sawa Hadabar Ashar Dabaroth La Ish Shawath, verse 15. Verses? Oh, down 17. Okay, verse 15. Wa I Quak Af Ra Ishwa Shaba Shayakam Ainai Shayam Ka Kamayam Wa Ya Da I Yum Wa Athon Wa Sha Sakit Wa I Shayam Al Yakam Shah Raya Allah Payam Wa Sharai Wa Shaya My I Roth Wa Shara Ka Mashayam Wa Shaya I Sharoth Wa Sha Sarayam La Shai Bashayakam, verse 16. Wa I Tazawa Af Shapa Shayakam Ba Ice Hi Ra Ice Lamar Shamai Bayan Akayakam Wa Shapa Dam Tazadak Bayan Ayash Wa Bayan Akayawa Wa Bayan Galawa Laga. Last verse 17. Allah Hakaya Wa Panyanyam by my Pasha, Kakwa, Shun, Kagad, La, Da Shamai, 1, La, Da Gad, Roth, my pan Nawa, Ayash, Kaya, Ha, Masha, Ha, Masha, Ha, it's Ha, Masha, Pas, Lahayam, Hayawa, Wahadabar, Ashar, Yakwash, Makam, Dakwa, Rock 1, Alaf Washa, Ma Aidawa.
All right, clap it up. All right, let's go back up to verse 10, and we're going to read from 10 down to 17 in the English. We'll go ahead and break it down. All right, as the brother was talking about earlier, this is the time where we are in the wilderness. The Lord, put us on the Red Sea. Came through from the other side. And now we're in the wilderness, and we got thousands. There's a lot of people. Moses took everybody in the wilderness. There's a lot of people out there. We going from land to land to land. The Lord tell them to settle here, kill all the people in the land. Now it's time to move up, go to the next land. So Moses is just accumulating people that came out of Egypt into the wilderness. Thousands of them coming out, millions of us coming out, and he got to maneuver this thing. So if you can put yourself in the image in the mindset of, you coming to a place where you don't know what's going on. You left a place where you had somewhat of homes and somewhat of a job, and now you're taking them from that into the wilderness because the Lord told you to go get your people and free them because they're in captivity, not knowing they're in captivity. And some of them you fight want to go back over there. Someone want to go back into Egypt. They want to go back, but he's trying to manage this whole thing. So it's like a whole movement of people coming in. They're fighting, setting up the lands. The Lord said, okay, you had enough time here. Let's move up and move to the next land. So you got to go to the next lands, kill them people in those lands, and keep on moving. And Moses is trying to put this stuff together, man. Can you imagine how many people he's trying to deal with? Hard-headed Negroes out there. We get together with 10 people. We don't know to go right, left, or back. They don't want to do anything. So just imagine millions of people that he's trying to control. And this is where we at right now. So he's coming to the Lord like, Lord, what can I do? And so this is where we're going to start. Verse 10. Yep.
Okay. Deuteronomy 1 and 10.
First start at verse 9, just to break it down.
Okay. Deuteronomy 1 and 9. And I spake unto you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone.
Lord, I can't do this by myself. What can I do? Keep going.
Okay. Verse 10. The Lord your God hath multiplied you, and behold, ye are as the day, you are this day as the stars of heaven for multitude.
Man, look up in the sky, see how many stars up there? There's a lot of stars in there. So the Lord multiplied us. There's a whole multitude of people that he got to get through this wilderness and get him to do the instruction what the Lord telling him to do. I can't imagine that. But then again, I can. Being officer 500, I should be able to take on 500 families. 500 men, women, and children. And you got to maneuver them to one place to another, give them instruction. They have problems, bring it up to me, answer your problems. This is what Moses is doing, but he's doing it on a grand scheme. And he's trying to figure out, Lord, what can I do? How can you help me with this? And this is what the Lord is telling him. Go ahead. Verse 11.
Verse 11. The Lord, God of your fathers, make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you, as he hath promised you.
The Lord had promised in the wilderness, man, the land of milk and honey. He's promised in these lands. This is what the Lord told him. But it's 1,000 more people than he could imagine. Moses wasn't ready for this. Like, Moses wasn't ready for this. Officer Plot, was you ready for this when you came to this? Officer 50, you ready to roll? You ready for this? We wasn't ready for this, man. It took the men above us to tell us how you're going to actually take care and how you take charge. You do this, you do that. So if anybody been in the Esau military, just imagine 10 times worse than that. That's what it is. That's what it is. And I say that because they have their things all set, they have everything up, but we don't have nothing set. This is a whole nation that Moses got to get together and formulate and move. Just like that. When God tells him to move, he got to move. So how do you rally up a whole troop like that? So he had to think of something. So he's going to the Lord asking for help. And the Lord's telling me, hey, it's all 1,000 times many people than you, so what you going to do? And so this is what Moses asked for. Keep reading.
Oh God. Verse 12. How could I myself alone bear your encumbrance and your burden and your strife?
Lord, how could I take care of all these people, the stuff that you're telling me to do, and also getting hit for all the stuff you're telling me to do they ain't following? This is a lot for me. How do I do it? How do I bear this? Go ahead.
Okay. Verse 13. Take you wise men and understanding and known among your tribes.
Take the wise men of understanding among all your tribes. Remember, we had 12 tribes out there in this wilderness. He's saying, take wise men that are in your tribes, that gives wise counsel. You understand? Keep going.
Oh God. And I will make them rulers over you.
Rulers over you. Make them lords over you. So he took the wisest men from every tribe, and he made them lords over these people. So that's how we bring it up. As of today, what is that equivalent today? Somebody give me what is that equivalent today? If you're on a job, what you got? Give me this scenario in a job, modern times now.
Oh,
what do you have?
Managers, supervisors.
There you go. Managers, supervisors, district managers, associate managers, area managers, store managers. That's what's happening right now. This has been broken down in the Bible. And so when you come to the I.S.U.P.K, we have it set just like that. I have men I answer to. These brothers have men they answer to. You got something?
Oh yeah, like pretty much today, like Officer 50 right now would be like a team lead.
Oh, we gonna get into that. We gonna get into that. You jumping ahead there, brother. Hold on, baby. Hold on. But go ahead, keep reading.
I'm kind of sloppy. Once again, this is where Esau gets his structure from in his workplace.
Esau does nothing of his own. Your oppressor does nothing of it. They get everything from this Bible because we the prince of the earth. Lord Lord taught us how to rule the earth, not them. They just took it from us. Now they're trying to run the world like that. But you understand, they don't run it the right way. They don't do it the right way. Their justice is horrible. So this is where we come to the I.S.U.P.K to where we have a rank structure. We follow a man above me. I have a man I have to answer to. And he has to answer to that man. So we have this order set up. And we got it from where? The Most High told us to do it. Keep reading. Continue reading, brother.
Okay, verse 14. And he answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do.
Mm-hmm. He said, Lord, dang, that's pretty wise, Lord. The thing you've spoken is good for us to do. So he took wise counsel from the Lord and said, no, we're going to go ahead and do this. So he started breaking people up. Go ahead, started breaking it down. Keep reading.
Okay, verse 15. So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men, and known, and made them heads over you. Captains.
We got a captain. We got a captain out to Zion. That's our captain of Atlanta School. Captain out to Zion. That's our captain. He's head of Atlanta. Keep reading.
Okay. Captains over thousands and captains over hundreds.
We got thousands. We got captains over thousands. We got Officer Yahanna, Officer Bakar. We got all our captains. These are our captains over us. These are thousands, our 5,000. Officer Yahanna. All of them over us. This is where we get it from. So we come and tell people, hey, I'm captain, I'm Officer 500. They look at me crazy. But yet, you go into the Esau military, somebody say they captain. Oh, you ready to salute? Oh, yes, sir, officer. But we tell you we're captain of the Lord's army. And we officers are 550s, and y'all look at us like, what makes y'all so important? Because for one, what makes it so important? Because this is what the Lord set up.
Right.
He set this up so we can run the nation of Israel. Your oppressor set that up. That Esau military up so he can run us. Tell us what to do. Control us. We get no say so in this. Whatever your military captain tell you to do, whether it's agreeing with the law or not, you're gonna have to do it. And most of them, I was in Esau's military, and most stuff they tell you is not in conjunction with the law. It gets you to break the laws. But the Lord is setting up shop, setting up the organization of how it's supposed to be. Captains, officers. Keep reading. Finish that on out.
Okay. Over hundreds and captains over 50s and captains over 10s and officers among your tribes.
That's what you see sitting up here. Officers of 500, officers of 50, troopers. This is what you have right here within the I.S.U.P.K. Now, I didn't know anything about this. It's been maybe 10 years ago. In my mind, I was like, you know what? I got tired of Christian church. I'm like, I was so sick of the Christian church. But in my mind, I was so militant-minded. I was like, damn, what if there was a rank structure in the Christian church? I was trying to find I was trying to create the wheel. And I sat there and I wrote everything down because I was in the Israeli military. So I come on my own mind. I'm like, you know what? If we had an officer of this who can teach the Bible, call him the captain, I didn't know this was already set up. I didn't read one thing that's in the Bible. And I've been going to church all them years. They never brought the scripture up to me that we already had a ranking structure. But in my mind, I'm putting the ranking structure together because I know all I knew was the Esau military. So I was putting this down. If you ask my rib, I got all the ranks and everything together. And I said, man, babe, this is going to be good. This is what we should have in the church. And she looked at it like, yeah, not knowing that we already had it set up. Now, had I known the scriptures in the Bible, I would have known that we already had it set up. But nowhere in the Christian church, Muslim mosques, nowhere is set up in rank and order like this. And called it. They got elders and bishops and things like that. But they don't have no captains and officers, 50s, 500s. They don't got that. But it's all been here in the scripture. So when people ask us, where do you get it from? We get it from the scripture.
So
Go ahead, brother.
If I made a motherboard, got one of the higher ranks.
Oh, the motherboard. The mother of the church is above all of them. Yeah, right. So she got the biggest hat. You right, brother. The motherboard, Lord.
So I can sit in the front in the best seat.
You can't see nothing over there. You gotta. Hey, so like, excuse me, sis, I can't see you. Don't tell her that. She'll get mad at you. But yeah, the mothers are rough. The mothers are rough. So yeah, this is where I.S.U.P.K get their rank structure from, the Bible. So if you ever wondered that, keep reading, verse 16.
Right, so if the Christian church had it, they would lose too much money. They couldn't do what they wanted to do.
Nah, they had to get checked.
Right.
That's right. Sometimes when you have people over you, you're responsible for more people. So you do something, you tell somebody to do something, or don't do that, they're gonna answer to you. And you lead them the wrong way, somebody's gonna get checked. So in this organization, what we have in I.S.U.P.K, the Commander in Yahanna, is the checks and balances. Even though the man is over me, he still serves me. Like I'm over these brothers, but I'm a service to these brothers. Anytime these brothers call me, I can't be like, nah, brother, I'm off 500, I can't do it. Nah, I had to take them, I had to listen to his request, see how I can help that brother, and help that brother. So you have to understand, even though you're over a brother, that don't mean you don't serve that brother, you serve that brother. So the best way you can be a good leader is to be a good follower. You understand? You have to be able to follow to be able to know how to lead. If you can't follow, how the hell are you going to lead? You won't. You want to do things that you want to do. And here in I.S.U.P.K, the Commander in Yahanna, you just don't do what you want to do. You're going to do things in decent and order, and you're going to follow these rank structures, and you're going to serve the men under you. Even though you're over them, you're going to serve those men under you. Commanders in Yahanna serve us every day, one day. We have a problem. General Hyman gets on the phone, he counsels us. You know what I'm saying? So they're generals, and they serve us. We couldn't have the school without them generals. Give it up for the generals, man. That Passover, if you went to that Passover, that's all the generals doing. They put that stuff together. They're there to serve us, us. And they do a hell of a job doing that. So the water, Commander General Yahanna, all the generals, captains, officers in the school, water them brothers. All right, keep reading.
Okay. Verse 16. And I charge your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with him.
And that's the problem we have right now. They was charged with judging all the brothers at that time. And they had to judge righteously. Well, the way Esau judges us out here is incorrect, man. They don't judge us right at all. I mean, you get hit for a dime, a little roach, you get 30 years in prison. You get football numbers in prison just for having a little roach that you find in your daggone in your ashtray. Now, you ain't supposed to be smoking, period, but I'm just saying that I'm giving you the differences. But you got a Caucasian or some other type of person, they just give them probation. Or just let them go. Now you can go. What kind of righteous judgment is that? That's not a righteous judgment at all. That's none. And this stuff happens in this kingdom every day. Day in and day out. we get judged incorrectly. Unrighteous judgment is what Esau puts down to us. But in this scripture, he's telling us we're going to judge these brothers righteously. You can do because it's our people. Now I can't get mad at Esau if they give leniency to their people. I can't get mad at them. What I'm mad at is brothers and sisters here who don't give leniency to our brothers. That's what I'm upset about. You'll give leniency to another nation before you give it to your own people. And that's what I'm upset about. And that's what we call to come here and to get brothers on the right track. Love your brothers. Love your sisters, man. Show them some leniency. Because God knows we ain't had none since we got on this damn earth. But in this thing, these brothers got to judge righteously. Keep reading.
Okay. Last verse, verse 17. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment.
What does that mean? Anybody tell me that? Not respect persons in judgment? What does that mean? Anybody? Don't be ashamed.
Slap you, sir.
Go ahead, bro.
All right, just because, okay, both of these brothers did the same crime, but just because he has more than this brother, that don't mean you...
But I'm Jay-Z.
What that mean?
I'm Kanye
You
West.
still did the crime, though.
Yeah, right. That's what it means. Don't be a prospective person. If you did that crime, you're going to do that time. No matter how much money you got, what position you hold, who's your mother, who's your father. We don't care about none of that. If you did this, and you did the same crime, you're both subject to the same punishment. That's righteous judgment. That's ruling righteousness. And that's what we do here. And that's what we're taught to judge righteously. And when the Lord comes back, and his kingdom can be rebuilt, and Christ, Yahanna comes on and rule this earth, that's what you're going to see, righteous judgment. If somebody get their head cut off, just know, he was righteous. It was a righteous judgment. Just know, he was righteously done. If I make a Caucasian man get on his knees and crawl and cut the grass with his teeth, just know, it was a righteous judgment. It was righteous judgment. You understand? Keep reading.
Okay. But ye shall hear the small as well as the great.
All right. Yeah, the small matters as well as the great. Small matters, man, that girl talking about me. Judge that sister, man. You got to sit down there and judge that sister who's upset about another sister. Even though you heard this a million times, you got to sit there and look, sis. Stop hating on the sister. You got to judge the small matters just as well as the greatest matters. You know what I mean? So keep reading.
Okay. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is God's, and the cause is too hard for you. Bring it unto me, and I will hear it.
So this is how Moses set things up. If the case was too hard, it was something that you couldn't do because you're the wise man. So if it's something above you, a lot of times that happens to me. I get a question that I don't know 100%. Like, let me call a brother above me to make sure I get the right answer. Somebody call me for a little small matter that I can deal with. I get, but a big counselor, you might want to call Cap for that one. Give him the information, call Captain, a man above me, because the matter's too great for me to judge. So I don't deal with that. So we put him in the right perspective. And that's what you see he going on here right now. When Moses set the men in charge, set the people over you, that's why sometimes you hear brothers here say, Lord, we call each other Lord. Oh, what's good, my Lord? People in the world think that's funny as hell. Lord, he ain't the supreme being. No, he's not the supreme being, but he's Lord over us. You know what I'm saying? The brothers over me is Lord over me. So why not call him Lord? You can do that. I'm watching The Last Kingdom right now. If anybody sees shots out The Last Kingdom, if you ain't seen it on Netflix, man, yo, Captain my car put me on something good. So I'm watching that. And that's all they do all day. And if you think about it in the Renaissance eras, or in Renaissance time, that was our times. You know, that was us. We was back to doing these things, calling people Lord, Lord this and Lord that. We were doing it. So if it was good enough back then, what's going on right now? The women was calling their men Lord. Now your sister calling you Lord. I ain't calling you no Lord. He ain't my Lord. But you know, I'm supposed to be your man, but you can't call me Lord. I bet you if I get the bills need to get paid, you know, you want to call me Lord then, don't you? You know, if not, the landlord gonna be calling you. You know what I'm saying? So this is the things that's the culture that we just shunned away. This is the culture that needs to be brought back into the daggone, into our culture. Calling each other Lord, calling no Shalaki. Come back to your original Hebrew tongue. Shalaki means excuse me. Baba Kashab means please. These are the things that we need to go ahead and incorporate back into our natural lives. Wearing your daggone headpieces, wearing your mitris. You know what I'm saying? Wearing your garments, especially. We should walk out there, people should look at us and go, oh, that's some Hebrews right there. That's some Israelites. We got to get out the way. That's what you're looking for. But we don't have that right now. We walk through there, they're looking at us like, who is this nigga? And who does he think he at? What he got on the dress? They don't know nothing. Even though he got pants under it. He got a dress on? Nah, it's a garment. It's So you got to get them used to seeing us out there, man. So let's get used to seeing that. That's why the Sabbath service is so important. The brothers and sisters come back and understand their culture, their nationality, and identity. It's been stolen from us. We don't know who we are, what we're doing. We don't know anything. We don't know why we drink the wine. People tell us, yo, you can't even drink. Why can't we drink? It's part of our ceremony. This is what we do. We drink. But they tell us, nah, you can't be drinking while you're teaching. Huh? Where's that at, brother? Where's that at? It's part of our ceremony, y'all. I mean, this is what we do. We drink our wine, y'all shower, and keep it moving. But this is the stuff that Moses had to deal with. So the Lord gave him a structure, how to set things up, gave him captains, officers, 50s, 500s, whatever the case may be. And now this is how they mobilize the troops. This is how they mobilize every family. They judging matters, large, small. If it's too big, you take it to Moses. He'll go ahead and decipher it and get it to understanding. That way, it's an easy way to mobilize a nation. And you need that, because you're talking about thousands, millions of people. How are you going to control these people, man? You control them by putting heads over them and judging the matter, every matter, great and small. That's how we do it. Understand? Anybody got any questions? Because we're going to have to cut a little short today. We're running behind time a little bit. But anybody got any questions? Brother, you had a question, didn't you?
Yeah, it was, I mean, you went to another subject. You want to go back and talk about it?
Yeah, it's good. We're going to wrap it right here. What question you had again? What was that question?
The meaning about why you use the 6-pointed figure.
Gotcha. Okay. The brother asked the 6-point star. That what you said, right? He said a 6-point star.
Interlocking.
Or interlocking.
All
right.
You know, however you want.
Right. This is what the brother asked. Well, brother, we're gonna set you straight. It's not a star. It's a shield. It's a shield of David. That was I'm not sure if you from Atlanta, right?
Not originally.
Where you from originally?
I live in different states.
Okay, where were you born at?
I was born in Atlanta.
All right, if you were born in Atlanta, in your birth certificate, you're gonna see a seal showing you where the state is from, right? Mm-hmm. Every state got that. You find the seal of Florida, New Jersey, whatever the case may be. That's a shield. So what that was King David's initials. King David's initial was Dawada, and if you look on, we got our maps out here, it's called Dawada. And it has the symbols of his shield, of his name. That name was ingrained in his ring. It's a
A?
Right, it's the D, and then the shape, the letter of a D.
Oh, it's right here.
Okay.
It's right there on the wall.
Okay, well, I just want this.
Right.
See this right here? That's the delta, the dot for the D in the alphabet, the dot. So all he did was that was his initial, no more than my initial. You have initial in the world, your first, middle name, and last name. You script that, you write that down, and you circle it, whatever you do. But the king at that time had a ring, and that was a seal. So that was our king's insignia. It was nothing more than his name, and it's something that identified us as a nation. So now people turn that seal into anything they want, and it's a scripture. Now I think I brought up to you 2nd Ezra, I believe it was. 2nd Ezra 10, start at verse 21.
2nd Ezra 10.
Yeah, 2nd Ezra, it's in the Apocrypha.
Oh, you said, I got it.
2nd Ezra 10 and 21 down to 23. Then I think it's
you said 2nd Ezra.
2nd Ezra 10, 21 through 23. All right, I'm gonna give you that precept, and we can talk about it a little more off camera once we because we got to go ahead and
You said 2nd Ezra chapter 10 verse.
2nd Ezra 10, start at verse 22 through 31 through 23.
Okay.
Yeah. So you go ahead and read that over. Then I'll ask some more questions when you got. We're gonna start right there. I think we had another precept, 8 and 8. What was that? But we're gonna start. I want you to start right there. All right. And I'll break that down to you. In the meantime, anybody got any other questions, comments, statements? Good to go. With that being said, we're gonna go ahead and say the prayers. Amaji.
Charlotte.
face these. So no rest.
The Lord pray the Hebrew. Abanah.
Sabbat
Shemai.
Qadash.
I.S.U.P.K. Yahweh. I.S.U.P.K.
Tabah.
I.S.H.A.
Baratazah.
Kawah. Bashamayim. Nathanael. Lakam. Cow. The Ram. Masalakyanau. Kawapyanau. Kasalakyanau. Kawapyanau. Wala'ah. Taba'ayinau. I.S.H.A.1. Abal. Hayashai Mayan. Rai. Kayat. Akar. Wala'ah. Walahata Para. Wala'am. Amon.
Right, this is the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Give us our debts. Forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. SARS, it's turn. Shall we be seated? You're going to go with the announcements. Officer Kashan. Come on.
These are the I.S.U.P.K. security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, by Asherah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like, upcoming holy convocations.
No, after that, the memorial blowing the trumpets.
Next holy convocation is the memorial of the blowing the trumpet, which is the first day of the 7th month, which could be found in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 24 through 25. And we would like to remind all Akim and Akwat to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. And we'd like to ask, our address here in Atlanta is 3353 Glenwood Road. We would, Decatur, Georgia. We would like to ask you whatever type of map device that you use, Google Maps, or to Google the address when you get on your way here. It kind of helps out with the algorithm. It kind of helps promote the school and like it, share it, and with that, I'd like to give a courteous salute to the teacher. Imagine. It means stand, which in the Hebrew means stand. Imagine Shabbat. Imagine.
Oh, so you gotta do brother in school, so you gotta slow down.
Imagine means to stand. You stand.
You can stand like
hands to it, but you can stand straight forward. When we say imagine, that means stand, kind of like you are. When we say imagine Shabbat, you kind of spread your legs, put both fists together, touch behind your back. Then imagine, that's imagine Shabbat. Then we say imagine, you come back into your original stance. And we say Barak, Barak means blessed, so you put your right hand across your chest. So, curse salute to the teacher. Almighty Shabbat. Amijah. Barak.
Yahanna.
Which translated to English, may the Lord bless, may the Lord in Christ's name bless you. I.S.U.P.K means hands down. We have a sister in the school, so SARS. Amijah Shabbat. Amijah, Barak.
Yahweh
Yahweh Shamar El Thal Ba'Shem Hawshah.
Which translated into the English, which means, may the Lord watch over you in the name of Christ. I.S.U.P.K means hands down. Class dismissed.
So you know we always come out.
Yeah, I forgot.
Say, bro, you got a flyer? I can read later on.
Come. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's also, that's all. Esther 8:8.
Esther.
It's also, King James Version. Esther 8:8 also a precept.
Can you write that down for me then?
Esther 8:8 in Second Ezra.
Nah, I just use it. You said Esther 8.
Esther 8, verse 8.
So that's not two pyramids doing this? That's not two pyramids going like that?
No, it's 2
Oh no, I thought you were gonna give me a flyer. Like one of the flyers you read with scriptures in.
Oh, you talking about like the prayers?
No, that's all we got right there to fly.
Those are on the flyer that we had.
No, I'm talking, well, IUICDU flyer.
Oh, I'm talking about this, like it might be a printout on a white sheet, like a
That's all
printout.
the flyers we got.
Oh.
You know, IUIC,
Yeah.
that's it.
Our flyers normally, it carries all the tribes on it, give you all the
Yeah.
information
For the
pertaining
flyer,
to
you
classes
might
and
have
stuff
like
like
scriptures
that.
and
But you have to
tell
go
the
kind of go on
bride.
websites and stuff you get.
Okay.
Step over this way, bro. Step over this way. JB, right?
Yeah.
Step over this way.
Oh, you want to sort
Yeah. You got it back.
No, you just gonna show me.
Yeah, this is
I
right
see.
here. That's right there. I'm sorry now. This is this one. You take the same bit, right? And the Y is right here. Down, Y, down. That's right. That's Dave's. That's Dave's name. And here. Down, down. And so you just take it here. Upside down. Sometimes you put that Y right in there. Down. That's all it is. This is it. That's the king's name. That was in the circle, in the ring. You put it that way. That was a seal of the nation of Israel. So anytime you saw a letter, official letter, you take that.